Food probably tasted shit back in the day. Let's be
but
real.
that's probably why it's fire.
Huh?
That's probably why it was so good.
Because they had nothing else to compare it to.
They have nothing else. But you get like some soup bone broth, you're like, damn.
Okay.
Sounds like a Pikmin.
Do you remember growing up? And
no, I don't.
It was like, I don't know. I'm not sure about you, Joe, but pretty sure about you, Connor.
Huh?
Where I think Sydney had a similar experience where you just didn't have as much experience to a lot of the different world cuisines that were just in your area.
You just call me white. Yeah, it's fine.
I did
Call me white. Just call me white. God, it's fine.
No. But there are like plenty of cuisines now that I did not ever have growing up. Like Korean being one of them, for example.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
Where I'd never had a craving for Korean food because I'd never tasted Korean food. But now that I have tasted it and I know what it tastes like, every so often I get the craving for it that I just did not have growing up.
I think I'd be...
You can say that about anything, though, that you first experienced and you enjoyed. Like, you can say that about alcohol.
What I'm saying is that when we were growing up and we didn't have this like worldview of like all the different things that we tried, we were fucking content.
Man, I think I told the story once on the podcast. I still get cravings for a dish that is just unsavable. It was just mashed potato with corned beef and just mashed up. I fucking always want to eat this.
I mean, that kind of sounds fire.
Dude, actually, it's so good. It's so good.
I've come around to corned beef recently just because, like, I never, like, my parents, like, never, like, cooked with corned beef. Like, we never had any corned beef dishes.
It's like the shittest meat known to man.
Right. And it's like, and then when I started hanging out with Aki and I realized, oh, corned beef is, like, the staple Filipino food to have.
Because it's, it's very...
That's when I realized I was like, oh, it's actually kind of fire. And now, every now and then, I get cravings for, like, corned beef-based, like, dishes.
Dude, try it. Corned beef. Or sorry,
that actually sounds fire.
Spam, which is the corned pork, I suppose. Try that and just mash it into a bunch of mashed potato. It's actually so good. And I, as a kid, I used to just eat plates of this thing. I'd clean it up. So good. I want to eat it.
There was always that one like food item that I think like every kid was.
I still think beans on
eating.
toast is fire. Beans on toast is actually so good.
For me, it was salami.
That's not controversial. Everyone likes salami.
Like the cold cuts from like
everyone
from
loves
Woolies.
salami. Everyone loves salami.
My sister didn't like salami.
What the fuck?
She was a ham girl.
I think you're gonna tell me something weird. Like,
oh no!
I think it's
Not
something weird. Yeah, okay, I'll accept that.
There you
Like,
go.
salami is just generally loved.
There's a lot of Japanese people who've never had salami before.
That's cap.
It's not cap.
Do you
No
guys like
way.
blue cheese?
Fuck no.
Yeah. Fucking love blue cheese.
It's fucking awful.
It's fucking awesome.
It's like gas in my mouth.
no, it's fucking awesome.
Because like you have this like
It's like imagine your friend farting in your mouth 24/7 while
Hell
eating.
yeah.
That's what it tastes like.
I just enjoy the fact that a lot of people are just like, ew, natto. You let it ferment in the ground and then you eat that shit and it's slimy. And then here I am in the Western world being like, oh yeah, blue cheese exists where we just made cheese and then we just left it out for too long and people were like,
I think because I grew up with so much like fermented stuff, like takuan, which is just fermented radish, or like natto, which is fermented soybeans. That like anything that was fermented, I was just like, yeah, this is fine. This is normal.
Oh god.
I just grew up with that kind of diet. Like
blue cheese is so bad.
I would wake up in the morning. I remember like when I was at my grandparents' house, I would wake up in the morning. My grandma would have like a bowl of rice with some miso, fucking big bowl of natto. My granddad would make fresh like ika no shiokara, like the blended squid with the wasabi inside of it.
I can't do that.
That was my breakfast, like when I was a kid, and everybody else who looks at that would be like, "What the fuck? That shit's nasty." But for me, that was
That
like
shit is nasty to me.
for me, that was the staple breakfast. And now, like anything that is fermented for me, now I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It's just fucking fermented. Who cares? It's good.
leave it in the dirt.
Yeah, it's fine. Dude, the longer it's there, the better it is.
Honestly, if I had to live off just tea and bread, I could do it.
I believe it.
I could just live off tea and bread.
It's the most British thing you ever said.
Genuinely, if you just gave me a loaf of bread every day and some tea, I think I'd be like, no complaints. You wouldn't hear a peep out of me.
I could not do that.
Do you know the biggest reason why I think the massive bread thing became a thing for me? Because like, I acknowledge now, bread tastes great.
Don't dare say what you're about to say.
I think
Don't say
like
it,
bread
'cause you're
tastes
wrong, you're
great,
wrong.
but I can't like reprogram that part of my brain that puts bread in like a different category as like what you would eat as like a main course. You know?
Well, as in, like, you can't look at bread as a main course.
Yeah, like bread to me fits that same mental category as rice does.
Yeah,
where I'm like,
totally.
if I eat a meal of rice, that's like a really depressing meal for me. I need something to go on with that rice.
I agree.
You know?
That's the Asian mindset, bro.
Yeah,
Like it's
right?
something that is paired with something that adds and enhances the flavor of the rice.
Yeah,
you know,
like-
or of the bread.
Like it's like having bread in Europe was great, but I'm like, this is a great starter for what's about to come, you know?
Yeah,
and
I agree with that.
do you know how I know anyone who goes like this is the biggest test, right? When someone goes to a really like high class fucking restaurant and the only thing they can talk about is how good the bread was, that's how I know it was an overpriced meal, man. That's like the bit.
Literally 90% of the Italian restaurants I've been to.
It's
like, yo.
so many times. I talked to someone who goes to like a Michelin star restaurant, and they're like, "Yo, it was the best bread I've had in my life, man." And I believe it, but I'm like, okay. But like, how was the rest of the meal? Tell me how the
That's
rest
how
of
they
the meal was.
clickbait you to the restaurant, bro. It's like, yo, the food is like kind of weird, experimental, and it's like it's pretty splitty when it comes to the opinion.
Yeah.
But the bread basket they throw at you, fire.
Yeah, that was the best bread all time, baby.
Put some balsamic with some olive oil on that shit, fire.
I think bread can be a main if you need it to be.
That's the European in you, bro. Like I can't do that.
I think just sliced bread is pretty fire.
I mean, sliced bread can be fire, but if I have just sliced bread, I'm gonna be like, all right, where's the meal?
Yeah,
Where's
that's the
meal?
equivalent of being like, that bowl of rice was kind of fire by itself.
That's fair enough if you feel that way.
Yeah.
Or like the plain noodles was kind of fire, you know? Like, it's like no one's doing
I
that
like
shit.
Salted noodles, they're pretty good. Lightly salted noodles are fire.
No, you don't.
I do. I like lightly salted noodles.
No, you don't.
Hot sauce is the best invention we've ever made. It's like 0 calories. You can add it to anything. It's just great.
Hot sauce?
Yeah, hot sauce.
Unless it's the Nando's extra hot
There's
sauce.
no way it's 0 calories.
Like Tabasco is like 0 calories.
That's not hot sauce.
Oh my god. Well, you want it to like burn your asshole? Make
Kinda,
it the
yeah.
gates of hell?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, but also it's probably 0 calories because you're not
It's like
adding.
vinegar. It's
You're
like
not.
vinegar,
You're not
yeah.
emptying half a bottle of Tabasco onto your meal.
No, I think it's actually 0 calories, the entire thing. Well,
Really?
It's like very low.
Look it up. Is Tabasco 0 calories?
It's like,
Well, I can
great.
believe that it's very low calories because I've seen like the viscosity of it.
yeah, it's water.
Yeah.
It's just vinegar with like extra spice.
Look it up, Kai.
Yeah, it's 12 calories per 100 grams.
That's so much
Okay,
Tabasco.
that's
You could not.
Okay, that's basically
You could
zero.
not apply 100 grams of Tabasco.
You basically just be downing Tabasco at that
Yeah,
point.
it's great. It just adds so much flavor to a meal.
I agree.
And
I used to not like Tabasco.
it's so good.
I don't like Tabasco.
Really?
Yeah.
hell.
I love it now.
God,
It's like
God, can you just like something? Come on,
No,
can
no,
you like
no.
just one thing? Can we like it, God?
No.
All right.
No.
Is Tabasco a condiment?
Yeah, 100%.
That's why he doesn't like it.
Yeah,
Tabasco, it's like, okay, I don't put it on the same level as ketchup. I'm not gonna like really, because I just genuinely hate the taste of ketchup. With Tabasco, it's always
That's so cap.
with Tabasco, it's always filled in that gap of like what should be a hot sauce, but not really being a hot sauce.
Sometimes I don't want a hot sauce.
Yeah, I don't
just
want a
like
hot sauce.
a hint of a hot
Yeah.
sauce.
Just
And
like a-
Tabasco-
like a- like a-
I never want that. Give me 100% or give me 0, man.
Well, sometimes you have a pasta and it's like, I don't want hot sauce added to this, but I just want a sprinkle of flavor added. And so
I
that's-
don't want a kick in the ass. I just want like a flick on the shins, you know? Like it's not like it's just like a little bit.
Me as a Thai, if I need that, I just put some
Well, that's
chili
not fair
powder
because
on it.
Thai, they're like, oh, would you like a meal? They're like, yeah. And then you hear them blending 500 peppers out back and they're like, all right,
gig,
this is
okay.
the first round. Chuck that in your pad
Bro,
Thai.
once you've had fresh peppers, like once you've had like fresh chilies on something, you like Tabasco is just like fucking
See,
baby
I
shit,
haven't
man.
reached that level when it comes to spiciness.
And-
Like,
and it's
I'm
just-
still
it-
baby steps right now.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't, if I want a kick, I am privileged. I
like
need
spice,
fresh, like,
but there should be
I need
food
chilies.
outside of
I
it.
need chilies, man.
Yeah.
Like Tabasco just doesn't do it for me.
Fair.
That is just my taste palette.
That's fair.